Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Operation Branchform seems to be undergoing some level of turmoil. How much of it is deliberate remains, of course, to be seen. But with many changes of personnel at senior levels of the police, including, of course, a new chief constable, the changes of the lead investigator on the whole operation, and, of course, lots and lots of political pressure being brought to bear on both the police for investigating and on the justice system to prosecute, it seems that there is very little chance of this actually coming to a satisfying conclusion. This is not my opinion. This is the opinion of one of the original instigators of the line of questioning that led to Operation Branchform. There are concerns that it is not going to achieve what it set out to do because it was designed not to do that. It is all basically a PR stunt to make it look as though Police Scotland are independent, when we know quite clearly and obviously that they're not. So we're going to take a look at this article. It's in the Herald, I think, and it is one of those where the truth is obvious, but no one wants to admit it. And I think that the complainant, who for some reason wants to remain anonymous, I can understand why, as saying that he does not think that they will eventually end where it's meant to. Let's take a look at this and see what's going on. Here goes. So here we go. Operation Branchform. SNP probe fears amid force turmoil. And of course, as I say, it's the turmoil involved with massive changes of direction of priorities following the change of leadership, but also the change of the leadership of the actual investigation. You've had three, I think now, different lead officers. There's no consistency even with any kind of control. And if you don't have a captain of a ship steering you in the right direction, it's going to be a wandering around aimlessly, maybe having a look at that, maybe doing something else, and nobody really taking control and owning the whole situation. A complainer in the Operation Branchform investigation has raised concerns over whether the probe into the SNP finances is being affected by turmoil in the top ranks of Police Scotland. And I think undoubtedly it is. It's only a question of how much of this, as I said in the opening there, how much of it is deliberate and how much of it is just simply the normal sort of stuff you get with a change of personnel. Over the weekend, a whistleblower told the Herald on Sunday of discord among the force's higher echelons and profound dissatisfaction within the ranks regarding Chief Constable Jo Farrell. Now, of course, the trouble with Farrell is that she was owned within days of taking over the job. She chose to avail herself of police resources for her own personal gain, technically some kind of theft. I don't know what the correct term would be, but certainly never bothered repaying it. And at that moment, she was bought. She now is an employee of the SNP. She can't say anything against them. They'll just prosecute her for the theft of police resources. So, corruption within days of starting. Not that she was lily clean, lily white hands before that. There was a little bit of oddity going on before, Cummings and all that. So the comings and goings of that particular situation doesn't help her case. Anyway, they also accused the new boss of diminished commitment to addressing institutional racism and discrimination within the force, although nobody's actually proved that it even exists. And Police Scotland said they did not recognise the criticism. They'll say that. Well, they would, wouldn't they? But Callum Steele, the General Secretary of the International Council of Police Representative Associations and a former boss of the Scottish Police Federation, said it was clear the force was not a happy ship. Well, a policeman's lot is not a happy lot, as Gilbert and Sullivan quite honestly put it. Now, one of the complainers in the force's long-running inquiry into the SNP finances has come forward to ask whether the inquiry is progressing as it should amid all the reported issues. He said, the public have the right to see justice being delivered, especially when those being investigated are highly paid public servants, said the complainer, whose identity is known to the Herald, but they do not want to be identified, and that's fine. You can see why. They don't want any sort of backlash from the SNP or the police. Operation Branchform has taken over 2 years so far and is based on a public fundraiser. The public have a right to expect justice to be seen to be done. Otherwise, faith in the justice system could be put at risk. This is Scotland. Nobody has faith in the Scottish justice system. They all know it's corrupt. They all know it's all controlled and owned by the SNP. Faith, that's a thing of the past. Asked if he was concerned over any negative impacts on Operation Branchform, he said, yes, I think if Police Scotland are missing a number of key appointments, then how can they carry out their duties and investigate reported crimes? Well, quite simply, they're not, are they? They've given up about 20% of crimes and now going uninvestigated in Scotland. And it's going to get even worse as the number of hate crime incidents increases and people keep bringing up and saying, look, so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that. Please investigate. I found it to be hateful. It's not getting better, is it? Anyway, Police Scotland's investigation into the SNP finances was launched in July 21 after a number of complaints. They're getting on for 3 years now. After a number of complaints that £660,000 raised by the party has gone missing, blah, blah, blah. We've covered that a million times. They're talking about the arrests and things. Don't care. Move on. Since the probe was launched, Police Scotland has undergone major changes in its leadership. Ian Livingston retired as Chief Constable last year, and then they brought in the awful Jo Farrell. Like I say, within days she became owned like Livingston before her. Seems to be the way, doesn't it? But there have been other changes amongst the force's top brass. Miss Taylor and fellow Deputy Chief Constable Malcolm Graham, who applied for the Chief Constable role but lost out to Miss Farrell, are both due to retire this month, while the SPA is already looking to recruit 3 new Assistant Chief Constables. Meanwhile, Chief Officer David Page, the service's most senior civilian staff member, has been on leave for months now after lodging a grievance against the Chief Constable. They're all going. None of them like it. None of them like Farrell. They're all saying Farrell is political, is owned, is not good for the force. And there's lots of them going. And they've had 3 different lead investigators on Operation Branchform alone. It's not going to come out well. And I think it's obvious as it goes on that there is no desire, either within the police or within the prosecuting services, for this to come to any kind of natural end. They want to get to a point where they say, well, look, it's gone on for so long, it's cost so much money, it doesn't look like it's going to be resolved, we're just going to drop it and just let these lying, thieving bastards get away with stealing £660,000. Well, it's only fraud, isn't it? Not as though anyone gets hurt. Coming up. Do you know what's really funny about this? Is you can have those swivel-eyed loons of the SNP who vote for the SNP. I sit there going, yes, 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 the SNP, they are liars and crooks. They have lied to us. They've stolen from us. But I'm still going to vote for them because, you know, deep down, I'm an idiot. Why would you still vote for people who steal from you? Unless you're an idiot. I mean, that's literally it. You've got to be an absolute moron to vote for the SNP after what they've done. Fortunately for the SNP, Scotland seems to be full of morons. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and I will speak to you later. Bye.